Going on, y'all? Cup of coffee with Jason Davis. Sitting here, got a new set. We chilling. Um, episode 8. Welcome everybody back. Coffee right there. Right. So this episode, we're gonna talk a little bit about um, the fact that we're spirit having a human experience. That we are. I hope you can hear me out there. I got a different audio setup this time. I talk a little loud if I got to. But a great scientist told me last year in a call, an introduction that he made to me out of the blue. He said, "We are spirit, clothed and soul, wrapped in flesh." And oh, my battery's running low. I might have to step away and plug this up. I didn't have my battery plugged up because it's raining outside. But he said, "We're spirit, wrapped in soul." He said, "We're spirit, wrapped in soul." He said, "We're spirit, clothed in soul, wrapped in flesh." So at the core of us, we're spiritual, and we're wrapped inside of a soul, and we're clothed inside of our own flesh. So let me take a break here. Cup of coffee with Jason Davis. I give you time to go get your coffee. I usually give y'all one. But you go put your coffee on, and I'm finna grab my charge. I'll be right back. It ain't gonna take too long. We almost. Mm-hmm. Tuesday morning, and we're gonna talk about it. Now, one thing I want to get on right now, before I get into my points of interest here, is that lately I've seen two sets of people that really they 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 just have not exposed themselves to learning about what it means to have something to offer. It seems like they live in a world of comparisons. Like, oh no, you can't do that. Can't be over there on that. And if anybody's too into this, then it's like, well, you couldn't be spending your time doing this because I'm counting, I'm taking keeping tabs on how you spending your time. And I don't know why, but it seems like the whole idea of culture presents some kind of, I don't know, I hate to call it a threat, but I just don't get it. I mean, culture is a real thing, and it's a simple thing, and it's not as big of a deal as people make it into. Like, oh, he's on their cultural stuff, or they on their this cultural stuff, they on this cultural stuff. I just don't get it because yes, something can seem weird to you when you don't take the time to figure out what it is. It's like with food. Food is culture. There was a time when certain folks just ate. Oh, I eat this. I don't eat that, bro. I don't mess with that. If you don't have exposure to that kind of cuisine, you're not gonna eat that. I don't eat that, bro. That ain't what I eat. So even with music, oh man, I don't listen to that kind of music. No, no, that's the old folks music. I don't listen to that. And you wake up one day and you go, oh man, I kind of feel good. So it boggles me, but I realize that that lack of embracing culture, you know, into the idea of spirituality and the idea of religiosity when it comes to, well, oh no, don't keep that cultural stuff over there. I understand why it goes on, but I understand that therein lies the problem as well. Is that if I buy a goldfish and I start feeding it food that I'm supposed to be feeding another kind of fish, how well am I doing with taking care of the goldfish, or even creating an environment where this goldfish can run its course? So um, it's sad to see the division of people that underuse or underutilize the idea of culture, and it's sad to see the people that overuse the idea of culture because both parties are using it in the wrong way. When culture is simply what you have to offer, you know, I have certain things to offer because of how I'm built, how the people before me were built, how they lived their life, how they chose to do things, the things that they were taught, the things that I've been taught. That's not a competition. That's not something to compare. That's not something to weigh against spirituality or religion. That is like just what it is. It's like the sad part about it is people fighting. They talk about, oh man, they're trying to turn this thing to this one world, everything trying to turn this. But it's like when you don't pay attention to what a person has to offer and respect that, you really trying to turn it into one thing. That's real talk. At the end of the day, if you're not respecting that, hey, this person has this gift and this talent and this to offer, you know, based upon who we are right now, you know, because I mean, hey, I'm a saxophone player, but I'm by no means the greatest of all time. Not even close. Not even close. There's nobody alive now that is close to being the greatest of all time musician. Period. Nobody. Mm-mm. Even the people that are amazing and great, they know that they're not the greatest of all time. They know it. They might like to hear you say that they are the greatest of all time or amongst the greatest of all time, but they wouldn't be able to even develop new art if they were sitting around with their chest out like, man, on the baddest one out, man. On the baddest dude, man. They say I'm one of the best. Ain't nobody great doing that. Mm-mm, nobody. You can name them. And I'm not in their brain, but I know they're not sitting up bragging on themselves. All that's fluff. So there was a time when we had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of talents and gifts and intuitions and abilities and things to offer, and that's before we make sure my phone is plugged up. That's before we start making our own thought process our enemy. So people start saying, "Oh man, you overthinking it." No, sometimes you're not overthinking. It's just that how we dream and rationalize stuff, how we dream and rationalize stuff is really sometimes us looking at something that we're really imagining on the inside. And we try to make it a reality. And I'm going to try to get through this. Um, but in speaking on what I said, um, this is a Bible. You know, it's my Bible. It's from my mama. Mama bought me this Bible. But there are many pieces to this book that get danced over. And one part in particular is John 10:34 through 36. You know, and it's that part that just talks about how you have power within yourself to emulate greatness and show the powers of the universe by understanding that you set apart and what you end up doing here on earth. You know? But I'll leave that right there. I'll leave that to the preachers. But we are locked into a human stage and a human way of thinking. Cup of coffee with Jason Davis. I really That's some good coffee too. I really don't sit and ponder why people exude so much hate. I don't sit and ponder why people um, set so many traps out there. It's my quest to figure out more of the greatness and to understand more of what my culture is and what I have to offer beyond physical. We are at a low point, but we've been at a low point from the time we stopped thinking in a spiritual way and all that started to fade and we start to fade into the physical. So because we can't phantom certain numbers, we act like certain realities don't exist, you know. But it's like if I show you a movie and I say, hey, man, it's another planet somewhere full of people that look just like you, bro. And then the whole world starts to respond and go, yeah, 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 yeah. That could possibly be a test to say, hey, if these folks really knew how great they are, what would they do? Now, these are just things to think about as we drink our coffee this morning. Because somebody's sitting back saying, you know, we see what's happening to black people in the entire world. What's been happening to black people? You know, there's been horrible things going on for years. This has never stopped. It's just starting to hit our front door, a little hard. I mean, I remember being in sixth grade, fifth, sixth grade, and Linnell Jeter got shot in Bog Springs at a Kentucky Fried Chicken or something in Dallas, Dallas County. I remember being a little kid and that happened, and they was like, man, this man was an engineer. This man was a man had his degree in this, and he was minding his own business, and da 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 da. I'm like, what? This kind of stuff been happening, man. I remember being in high school. Rodney King got beat up. Remember how the hood reacted? It was a lot worse than things are now in my town. Then when the Rodney King thing happened, oh, it was bad. It didn't really get reported, but yeah, it went down. So we know we're at a low point, but there's some people out there that's sitting and thinking, hey, why in the world is it so important to mess with these folks all the time? What's the agenda? See, some people just have gone along with the man, I can't stand them, or I can't stand them. It's a family. This is hypothetical. I'm in a Davis family. It's another family live across the street from the Davises. Well, historically, we don't mess with them. You know, we're gonna call them the Lewises. It's a funny name, but kind of two of my family names. But we don't mess with the Lewises. We don't mess with them. And you're a little kid, and that's all you hear. And no, 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 no. Little kids want to throw the ball across. No, 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 don't play with them. No, not the Lewises. No, 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 no. And you grow up, you don't even know why you don't like them. All you know is every time you pass by the Lewis's house, you go, yeah, I gotta use the bathroom, I better not stop there. You know, if I got some extra strawberries, watermelon, pizza, no, don't give them to them. That's what this thing is like. But when people don't fool with you, there are levels to why people don't fool with you. Some people don't fool with you because their friend don't fool with you. Some people don't fool with you because you got something that they want, and it's best that they distance themselves away from you so that when they present it, the real deal is nowhere to be found. Some people don't fool with you, but they just straight up don't like you. They don't like how you roll. Some people don't fool with you because you don't remind them of the people that they do fool with that look like you or that are similar to you. Meaning, I don't deal with them kind of black people. I deal with them kind of black people. I'm gonna choose which ones I deal with because I don't fool with all of them and all that. See, that's that mentality of that level of people. Some people don't fool with you because nobody before them fooled with you. And hey, we've been doing good like this without fooling with you. This is what's happening. But if you peep game, it's it's not just color based, it's industry based, it's occupational, it's class and wealth based, it's placement and positioning in different hierarchies based, all that. hmm And as a musician, you see it. You see it all. You see the highest of the high. You see the lowest of the low. Period. You can be at the hottest club in town one night and be right back to your little old crib the next day. You can be playing at the biggest house in town, or you could be right back to your little old spot the next day. You can be at a big old country club. You could be over here at a little hole in the wall juke joint. You could be at a big old festival over here, right? With thousands of people. You could be right back over here with 4 or 5 people that really don't want to hear you play. So you see it all. One thing I noticed is I got this saxophone in it. When I'm not holding it in my hand, I get different results. If I'm standing there with these shades on and this hat on, with my hair looking like this, I'm just standing there, right? They're like, who is this cat, right? What's going on? But let me go put a horn in my hand. Whole different approach, whole different ball game, everything. Because with that horn comes a history of what every person has done with that instrument before me. And the fact that I encompass that history and that I seek after that history and I respect and love and I re-speak that history verbally and musically. That's the power. Oh yeah, that's the power. The power ain't in that I went and spent $60,000 to go over here and get this piece of paper and say I can do this. That's not the power. The power is in how much of that from your ancestors that you got in your head. How much did you already have? How much do you exercise? That's the real power, the information. If the information is coming out of those institutions, then that's where you got the power. But if the information is selective and not inside those institutions, you ain't getting the power. You see, I just left a group on Facebook because I noticed that the people in the group think that the people from the 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s in them times are different than the people from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the 2000s. No, 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 my friend. We the same. We the same, bro. Matter of fact, we exactly the same. I was on Instagram. I sent Sonny Rollins a message. I said, but we from two different parts of the world. We from two different streets, but we the same. It's when we start to look at each other as distant strangers. That's when we got a problem. The haves and the have-nots. Oh, I play music up here in the city, and you down there in the country. You couldn't be as good as this guy. See that's where you getting it wrong, player. You think you've seen it all. You can't pay to see it all because everybody ain't bought. Everybody ain't been bought. Now you've seen everything that you can buy that's in front of you. But when you think you've seen it all, you're wrong. Cup of coffee with Jason Davis. Just keep it real, y'all. But because we can't fathom 14 billion, nevertheless, 14 billion times 365, that takes us to this stage where we start thinking that everything begins with us, and it don't. I know more people that think in their mind or that behave as if everything started with them. They're like, man, I'm just starting here with me, bro. I'm doing me. I deal with the people that deal with me. That's a problem. That is a problem. Because what you ignore is you ignore the fact that the universe is huge and that we are in an understood galaxy that we call the Milky Way. And in this galaxy, now you're starting to get it. In this galaxy, man, there's a lot going on out there that we ain't never seen. And we look at pictures and we say, oh, that's so beautiful. But we look at each other and we don't say, oh, that's so beautiful. Because we don't really understand that when we're looking up there, we're looking inside. So I'm gonna breeze through this, and I hope that prefaces where we are today. Is that if you are in a position where you are a shepherd over people, as far as in a sense of religion, please stop comparing doctrines and denominations and religious affiliations with please stop comparing those things with culture. They have nothing to do with each other. They really have zero to do with each other. You know, and it is not my job to go around pointing the finger at who's feeling themselves. You know, there's there's a way for your body to heal itself. Your body does that, and it's designed to do that. So let's focus on people feeling good. Because if you feeling bad, you're gonna do bad. You feeling good, you're gonna do good. Now, if you're feeling bad and you're doing good, you really are in a war with yourself. You're fighting against yourself. You might do good, but you might not do your very best. It's just human nature. Human nature. 14 billion years before we were even in this universe. Of course, we were somewhere else. That thing had to come to an end after 14 billion years. So a play had to be made. A plan had to be put into place. What do we do? Where are we from? How far back can we remember? Like even now, like during this whole pandemic that we're dealing with. I guarantee you most people are thinking about something that the oldest person in their family told them. Cover your feet up. Cover your head up. Wash your hands. Put this in your bath water. Put this in your foot soap. Put this in your food. Clean your food off with this. I always do this when you do that. Everybody remembers something that say grandmama told them or granddaddy. And some of us can remember something that great grandmama or great granddaddy or great auntie this person or somebody older told us. We take that information, we put it into our brain, and then we act upon it. Me personally, every day I think about some way that my parents prepared their food, some way that they did this, some way that they used this to clean this off, that they used this, how they covered this up with that, how people in my family utilize certain things to get certain things done. That's all we have. So say you at the end of a 14 billion year cycle. What do you do? What was done before you? Those are the things we want to look at. When the best of the best start to lose their whole energy, when the battery get low on the super dupers, right? The best of the best, or the battery's low, the battery getting drained. Oh man, he can't sleep, right? What happens? What has happened? Those are the questions. Well, what has happened in the past is the children rise up and they actually recreate their ancestors. Oh, this was my favorite uncle, or this was my favorite uncle, this is the way my dad did it, it's the way I'm going to do it. Some people have 100-year, 200 year. I mean, people right now are thinking about it. What is my family going to do for the next 400 years? How are we going to survive? Some people have been thinking about that 200 years ago. And we looking at the residuals of that. You see, it's all kind of things going on around us. People have meetings talking about what they're gonna do with it and what they're gonna do with that. Let's just talk about jazz. I'm a jazz musician. Oh, jazz done already changed. Jazz was changing, you know. Jazz done already changed. The mentality of the musicians has to change with it. In order for the music, in order for the art itself and the people to be on point. But yeah, jazz is popular music again. And I would say, yeah, jazz is the most popular music. Yeah, jazz is the most popular music. Because jazz is bigger than a beat. Jazz is bigger than an instrumentation. Jazz actually has a real person to person kind of function. Yeah, it really does. And that's salute to the great jazz musicians out there that have fought the fight, man, and have kept jazz popping. And some of the people that have even said, hey, the word jazz itself ain't about nothing. We all know what music we're talking about. You know, I have a petition out to create a local composer showcase once a week, starting in Dallas. Um, I will not give too many of what my plans are, But yeah, let's stay ahead of the curve. Let's stay on track. Let's keep let's keep some music in people's soul that is gonna make people feel like doing good, like make people feel great and creative and expressive and beautiful. Jazz is that kind of music. Or some people like to refer to as BAM, Black American music, however you see it. But it's funny how quickly people will immediately start accepting truth once they see physical representations of what they had in their mind the whole time. You say the mind is powerful, but when you think about it, the information that you can sense, that you can recognize, that's what's really got the power now. And remember, we used to have hundreds of talents and what we call senses. We used to have hundreds of things that we could do when we were thinking in the spiritual. But all they got condensed to the five senses. I'm telling you right now. First time hearing, that's what time it is. Now you got it. Now you know. Partially, one of the things that we've encountered is the whole idea of being inside of a cocoon, you know, where it's like, hey, if you're gonna transform, it's gonna be this type of process naturally. It's gonna take place. And so you can even look at a mummy being wrapped up as the same as being inside of a cocoon. You know what I'm talking about? The caterpillar goes into the cocoon, cocoon pops open, butterfly comes out. Yeah, we're inside of that kind of transformation now. That's what we're experiencing. And because it's understood that we're experiencing that, that's why it seems like the pressure's just a little harder right now. Like, oh, why they mess with us so bad, bro? Now you know. We spirit wrapped in flesh. Now we spirit wrapped in soul. Now we spirit wrapped in soul, clothed in flesh. But to make it a little easier, we cooking. For part of cooking is the preparation. We cooking. When I say we cooking, that don't just mean we heating up. When we are in a pot. We're on the back out on the pot now. We cooking. It's preparation. Certain ingredients. These ingredients got to go with these ingredients. Got to sift out all the imperfections. That's that role. That's that role that we got twisted right now. Is that empowering yourself, to me, it's just me talking. Empowering yourself means turning your energy over and turning your energy over. Like, you cooking something, let it cook. You transforming something with the elements of nature through time and heat, temperature. You see what I'm saying? And different levels of moisture, friction. And you turn it over. It's different than begging. I hope this food gonna be good. I hope this. No, you gotta you gotta cook it. Now we pray before we eat our food, but do we worry about if the people that are cooking the food are praying? Well, that's the whole point. The whole idea of empowering yourself or turning over energy is the whole idea of what prayer was before we start begging all the time. Turning over your energy is praying. Empowering yourself is praying. Not just waiting till you do something dumb or somebody around you do something dumb. And now you want to try to fix it. Sifting out the imperfection. As all that we live in now became more clear, all of the stuff that we understood started fading away. All them powers. So now we're here. My band director, cup of coffee with Jason Davis, y'all. My band director used to say, "You're not the best." He's not necessarily to me, but he tell people, "You're not the best. You're the best of the mess." Or he said, "They're not the best. They're the best of the mess." You got to think about that. And I'm the best. I'm the best man. I'm a big pot of mess, though. You're the best of the mess. Now, humanism. You got your spiritual way of thinking, your spiritual thought, presence, humanism. They're just people that are just thinking, can't we treat humans better? Can we be better humans? Can we? Some of this evil is in people's instinct. And because we're not embracing culture, we're more trying to redefine it or recognize and emulate opposites or oppositions or unnatural senses of culture. We're not embracing the culture inside of us. We're not allowing that culture to be a part of our everyday existence to shine. and others are not showing forth their culture or their lack of. It's like saying you want a cup of ice water, but I don't like the way ice feels. It's too cold. Won't work. In order to have a cup of ice water, you gotta drop some ice in it. That's what I'm talking about. You gotta drop some ice in the water. Ice water. You can have cold water, but if you want it to be ice water, you gotta drop some ice in. Right? It's all part of the play. So we had about 100 gifts that reduced down to five senses. At this point, the brain and humanity became the enemy. Up under that brain, that's when you're dealing with your pineal gland, your third eye, your chakras. Now everybody's on this thing. I'm listening to these frequencies. Man, it's 160 plus chakras. It's at least 160 chakras. When you're looking up in the sky at night, you're looking at the chakras. Huh? Once you put certain stuff in your brain, it start to serve you. Oh yeah, yeah, I'm good. I listened to that 528 last night. I'm more than that. Your intent, your openness, all they got to do with your overstanding, your understanding. You know, all that means something. When you're looking at the sky and you see those hundreds of millions of trillions of things up there, you see, you're dreaming. You're dreaming. You're having an out of body, outward experience. And reality takes shape, but it takes shape from your brain, not everybody's brain simultaneously. It's your reality. That's your riddle. That's your little people say my little spin on this. It's my little spin on this. I put a little chocolate on that. I put a little maple syrup on that. That's your reality. But while you're doing that, your soul is asleep. Your spirit, wrapped in soul, clothed in flesh. These dreams in your reality. I'm gonna take a little sip of this coffee. You're gonna love this. It's what we call the ego. The same old ego is the same reason people say, "Oh yeah, man, I seen that petition, dude. I ain't signing that." Oh yeah, man. He alright. I remember when he couldn't play. Yeah, he good, man. But I prefer this, or I did. Only reason that she can do this. I made this. Ego player. Now you got one thing I learned over the past couple of years is ego is only designed to combat the ego. I see people in the world paying respect to people that they never pay respect to in real life. I see people publicly, egotistically paying respect to people that they had opportunity to pay respect to and they didn't. Because the ego was just so high up there about what they had acquired from their so-called reality while their soul was asleep. Because if their soul would have been turned on and awake and empowered, their soul would have locked up with that other person, they ill, and they'd have said, "Oh, bro, thank you so much. My God, even though I don't know all your work, I do understand that this didn't start with me. And without you, I'll be working on the railroad somewhere." That's how serious this thing is to me. I know great people that have told me, say, "Man, I met that dude, he from my town." He say, "That dude there, man, don't pay me no respect. Didn't pay me no respect. Man, he just ego." Because you gotta understand, these older generations did not get all this stuff done, leading out with their chest out with the ego. You see? So your reality can be a trick to you. Now, your reality becomes a construction or a construct of your dream. Now, in order to make this make sense, intelligent people, I say 50 plus years ago, started trying to put some new, you know, thoughts out there where how do we perfect this? How do we create new principles of perfection? And it even gets to the point where we have to rethink the idea of any kind of law that we've made up because it's been made up inside of our reality, which is ego. You see? So we're we're looking into a box, sitting inside of a box, staring at others inside of boxes, believing somewhere that we're going to do things that are fresh and new and outside of the box. And we're teaching people to stay in the box. Now I know as a musician, I mean, if you're thinking on stage, you ain't doing it, player. The way I see it. The goal is to zone out. When I played the 8 minutes and 46 seconds of playing the one note for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, I zoned out. I'm talking about time didn't go tick tock anymore. Time went. It was more like a fan than it was a rotating thing. It was like it was my breathing became time. The length in between, the intervals in between the sound and the shape of that one tone became time. Whereas 6 minutes didn't feel like 6 minutes. Even the pain of my lips trying to keep my embouchure held together that long, that wasn't a reality because if I'd have looked at the time before 7 minutes and something, I'd have told myself, "Oh no, you ain't gonna make it, bro." And my brain would become the enemy of the end result of what I was trying to do, right? Because I never held a note for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. That was like 9 minutes. I've only held a note for 5 minutes. Longest I ever held a note ever, right? And so when you look at common sense, well, it's just common sense that, you know, if I got 2 bags full of groceries and you got a free hand and I need the car door open, that you just open the car door for me. That's just common sense. Where's the common sense when we just leave people alone? Just let people be. When we stop thinking that somebody's always doing something or gonna do something to somebody because of what somebody else did. It's almost like I'll I'll clap and sing to the music of these people, but I won't feel like they're clapping and singing. The energy that they give off to me actually makes them good people, so I'll just keep an eye on them. That's sad. There's always exceptions to rules. But I got this feeling that people want to act like they perfect and will do anything to keep that whole little old thing going on. Like I'm perfect and you ain't. And I'm gonna point out everything you do. And every time you mess up, I'm gonna be right there to stand in your face, laugh, and pour salt on your wound. That's how people act. But anything you do good, man, once I learn how to do it, I'm gonna act like you don't even exist. Then I'm gonna get the best of your friends and I'm gonna treat them like you don't, and we all gonna live happily ever after. Boy, it's some tricky people out there, man. It's some crazy stuff, man. Common sense, though, right? Looking into the box. Cup of coffee with Jason Davis. Once the coffee's gone, the show's off. But my friends, we are trapped in these physical bodies, and there's only one way off this earth, and the only way off this earth is death. Think about that when you think about how much better you think you are than somebody else. Oh, my computer is trying to listen. So when you try to think about you better than somebody else, no, we all got to go the same way. We all are renting these bodies from the earth. We have to give them back. That's why they put us in the ground. You got to get it. You got to get that body back to the earth. Your soul, your spirit. That's the energy. That's the battery pack. Charge it up. I'm gonna leave that there. Scripture I was talking about earlier. Ain't no Bible study either. Was John 10:34. Empower yourself by asking for answers from the Most High. Getting your information from God before you start making moves and shifting, doing all this. Figuring that part out. This has been a cup of coffee with Jason Davis. Hopefully, one among many where we can dig a little deeper. And hopefully, put some things on some folks' mind. Those that are watching, they're watching. Those that ain't watching, they doing what they do. Um, we have new music out, new spoken word piece out, uh, available on Spotify. Spoken word piece with Rachel Zabrowski. I hope that spoken word piece serves as something that can be played in the family. We can begin to learn how to leave folks alone. Because right now, if I can speak for myself as a black man, I want to be left alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Well, my grandma would say, don't study me, don't study me, don't study me, leave me alone. Leave my friends alone, leave my kinfolks alone, leave everybody alone. Leave me alone. Or people say, stop effing with me. What Bach say, where sheep may safely graze. If I want to go in this pasture and I want to graze over here, leave me alone. Why is it so important to be messing with me all the time? Right? I have another song out called Put 'em Up. It's written for Mr. Mike Brown. Who was shot in Ferguson. Put 'em Up with Mahogany. Um, A lot of music out. More music coming. I'm gonna leave it there, y'all. Cup of coffee with Jason Davis. It's taking a moment to keep it real with you, put some stuff on your mind, allow you to think, possibly phantom the idea of 14 billion. Because you can't phantom 14 billion. You can't phantom 93 trillion. We'll get on that 93 trillion on our next episode. Cup of coffee with Jason Davis. Y'all take it easy. South Dallas Jason, Jason Davis Jazz. I'm beloved for y'all, man.